And I do want you to feel materially hopeless. Don't mind. But you join the party of the Panchatattva, and you can see miracles happen. So I always come here to be recharged, to be recharged with your dedication to distributing books. I have seen how that kind of dedication produces miracles. Miracles internally, and as well as miracles externally, even in the mundane sphere of events. Because Krishna is the source of all energies, material and spiritual. Everything emanates from Krishna. Matta sarvam pravartate. We forget so easily, though, how we are participating in the flood of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda's mercy. Therefore, it takes expert leadership to keep us on track, because this is a world of forgetfulness. We become covered over. Our material desires come to the fore and beg for fulfillment, even though it will never happen. We need expert leadership that keeps us on track, keeps us in touch with the miracle of devotional service, the miracle of sacrificing for Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. I love the way in the purport to Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Prabhupada describes the miracle of bhakti. He said, it's the process of becoming spiritual within the jurisdiction of matter. Within the kingdom of Maya, you can become so spiritually potent. And you can generate another reality. You can generate you can generate reality itself. So I see that kind of potential here in your congregation. The little ones, the older ones, and in between, everyone is having a role to play in generating reality. The reality of Lord Chaitanya's flood of love of Krishna. And when you talk about the flood of love of Krishna, you're talking about the flood of devotional service. And in order for that flood of devotional service to carry on, there have to be standard bearers who engage people in devotional service so that the people can feel that miracle. They can be a part of that miracle. They're suffering because of a desire to dominate material nature, and they don't understand the result. The more you try to dominate material nature, the more material nature dominates you. This is the mystical paradox. But we think, I'm innocent. I'm just trying to make my way through this world. I'm trying to arrange a bit of this, do a bit of that. I've got career goals. I've got business goals. And what else is he supposed to do? We don't recognize that in our heart, we have this desire to dominate material nature, which means increasingly material nature dominates us. And when that happens, well, why? Why is material nature responding in this way? Whether it's the material nature of my body, whether it's of my mind, my body's deteriorating, my mind's deteriorating, material nature, the environment's deteriorating. Why? we leave ourselves out of the picture in terms of our desires to dominate material nature. We think those desires are innocent. We'll excuse ourselves. It's natural for the young people to have such desires. And it's natural for the adults to have such desires. It's natural for the elderly to want the younger ones to have those desires. It never stops, does it? So to be a dynamic participant in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission, first we admit, guilty as charged. But now we are entitled to the greatest benediction by participating in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission. Yes, we were guilty, if not in this lifetime, in previous lifetimes. But now we have the rarest opportunity. And the whole world is watching ISV to see, can you really pull it off and sustain it? Or maybe you guys are just faking. Can you really just go on and on like this? When did this start, by the way? What year? Who remembers? 2005. Okay, so it's been 17 years. I mean, do you really think you can just sustain this and go on like this? But it goes on and on and on, and increases and increases and increases. That's the nature of Lord Chaitanya's merciful mission. It has no material limitation. So what other solution do you dream of for all the apocalyptic dangers I've described factually? What other solution can you come up with? How is there going to be world peace? How is there going to be social harmony? Materially, it's not possible. So the young kids are growing up in an atmosphere of political instability, economic uncertainty, environmental degradation that can't be stopped just by electric cars. So-called democracies veering towards authoritarianism. This is what your children are growing up in. Now, what to do? There has to be some kind of process for transforming the heart. That's what's missing in the world. Religious beliefs aren't doing it. Call yourself Christian, Islamic, Hindu, this, that, the other. Who is evidencing a transformed heart, a purified heart? Mere religious belief won't do that. There needs to be a process of mass transformation. And that's what Mahaprabhu's flood of love of Krishna does. It changes the heart. It gets you out of body consciousness. And remember, there's nothing innocent about our thinking we're the body. Once we make that mistake, the next step is to have mistaken desires. And because those mistaken desires can never be fulfilled, we must become angry. And when there's anger, there must be conflict, exploitation, domination, conquest, misery, and suffering. So you all are demonstrating that we have our work cut out for us. And we can capture Krishna's attention by uniting behind Krishna's program for peace. That's the only program that works. Krishna doesn't say, just believe in me. He says, no, understand. I'm the beneficiary. Understand, I'm the supreme proprietor. Understand, I'm everyone's friend. Then Gatramam Jantam Richtati. Then you'll be safe from the suffering in material nature. You won't identify with all that commotion going on. And you'll have the ability to help others not to identify with the miseries affecting the body and mind, the miseries brought about by other living entities, the miseries brought about by material nature. So my point is, we have our work cut out for us, and it is possible. And you all play a great role in the ISKCON world by showing what can be done consistently. We thank the Panchatattva that you all are not shooting stars. A couple of years of wonder and then fade away. By demonstrating consistency in Mahaprabhu's mission, you're doing the greatest gift for Prabhupada's society. People are thinking, how can they do it at ISP year after year after year? All right, we made a big push one year, and then, wasn't that enough? We had 1 year of glory. Vaisheshika Prabhu glorified us. Wow, your country's doing great. Yeah, okay. Been there, done that. Life has to go on. But you all are showing the miracle of consistency. And that will attract Lord Nityananda's attention, Lord Chaitanya's attention more and more. It's great to be superlative one time or 1 year, but year after year after year, this is truly impressive. So I beg you all to please do not decrease your efforts. All the others, including myself, need to see your year-by-year example, how things can increase. We're not dealing with the material energy. We're dealing with the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I thank you for your efforts that are inspiring the whole world, and I pray that you all will continue. Thank you very much. Any questions? We have time for questions. I believe we go till 5 o'clock. Yes.
Sorry, Maharaj, but seems like to be a mundane question, but you alluded to the fact that electric cars are not going to change the environment. If you can just put a little bit of glimpse on that.
Are you an auto executive or what?
No, Maharaj, just curious.
They're not going to save the day. That's what I meant. I didn't say they wouldn't cause changes. They'll make a little effect, but they're not going to change. They're not going to save humanity. That was my point. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. In other words, they are not revolutionary solution. That's what we are trying to say.
There is no material solution.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for connecting the problem and the solution. It was really nice to hear. I have a question regarding the process of devotional service. When we introduce newcomers, it is a gradual process where they take up devotional service, and we want to be patient with them as they improve their chanting, they purify themselves. But as you said, material desires are uncontrollable, and the kind of devastation they are doing, that's really rapid. So do you think in our devotional service, in our preaching, we can expect them to progress rapidly?
Expect them to progress what?
Rapidly, like the destruction that is happening because of materialism, that is really quick. But on devotional service, the progress is not. It depends upon the person.
Yes.
So, is there a way we can? Should we work on because it is individual? Or
Each individual has his or her particular appetite. You feed the appetite. If you can increase the appetite, so that's very good. You have to be personal in terms of recognizing each individual's particular appetite and deal with that. Some persons you can feed very much. Others you can just give them a little bit. You don't know